It starts innocently enough. You open your phone to check a single notification, and suddenly, 2 hours have vanished into thin air. What if we told you that your brain is being hijacked by the very device in your palm? This is the science of mindless scrolling. To understand why you can't stop, we have to look inside your skull at a tiny chemical called dopamine. Many people think dopamine is about pleasure, but in reality, it's about anticipation and reward seeking. Every time you flick your thumb upward, your brain is playing a high-stakes game of chance. This is known as a variable ratio schedule of reinforcement, the same psychological trick used by casinos. You don't know if the next post will be a boring ad, a funny cat video, or a life-changing news story. That uncertainty is exactly what keeps you hooked. In fact, studies show that your brain releases more dopamine during the search than the find. As you scroll, your prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for impulse control and long-term planning, starts to go offline. Meanwhile, the amygdala and the reward centers are working overtime, keeping you in a state of reactive trance. But what happens to your focus? Researchers have found that our average attention span has dropped from 12 seconds in 2000 to just 8 seconds today. That's less than the attention span of a goldfish. Here is what that looks like in your daily life. When you jump from a 15-second video to a headline to a photo, your brain is forced to perform context switching. Every switch costs you cognitive load. You aren't actually multitasking, you're just depleting your mental energy faster. Think of your brain like a sponge. Constant scrolling is like trying to soak up an entire ocean while someone is squeezing the sponge at the same time. Over time, this can lead to digital brain fog, where it becomes physically difficult to hold a single thought for more than a minute. But the damage isn't just mental, it's structural. Recent MRI studies have shown something alarming in heavy social media users. They found a decrease in gray matter in the parts of the brain responsible for emotional regulation and concentration. This makes you more susceptible to stress, anxiety, and even depression. And don't forget the infinite scroll feature. Invented by Asa Raskin, it was designed specifically to remove any stopping cues. In the old days, you'd finish a chapter or reach the end of a newspaper. Those were signals to your brain that it was time to move on. Without these cues, the dopamine loop never breaks. You're like a hamster on a wheel that never stops spinning. Then there's the blue light. Your phone emits a specific wavelength that mimics the sun. This suppresses the production of melatonin, the hormone that tells your body it's time to sleep. So when you scroll in bed, your brain thinks it's high noon, keeping you wide awake even when you're exhausted. This lack of sleep creates a vicious cycle. Less sleep means less willpower, which leads to more mindless scrolling the next day. But wait, it gets even more complicated. Enter the echo chamber effect. Algorithms are designed to show you what you already like, which narrows your perspective and hardwires your biases. Your brain stops practicing critical thinking because it's constantly being spoon-fed information it already agrees with. This is called cognitive easing. It feels good, but it makes your brain lazy. In fact, some studies suggest that heavy phone use can even affect your physical posture, leading to tech neck. This physical strain sends stress signals back to the brain, increasing cortisol levels. Cortisol is the stress hormone. High levels over a long period can damage the hippocampus, the center for memory. So scrolling isn't just making you distracted, it might be making it harder for you to remember your own life. Is there a way out, or are we doomed to be digital zombies forever? The good news is that your brain is plastic. This means it can change and heal itself if you give it the chance. This is known as neuroplasticity. By changing your habits, you can actually regrow that lost gray matter. The first step is setting digital boundaries. Experts suggest a digital detox for at least 24 hours. When you put the phone away, your brain initially goes through withdrawal, similar to quitting sugar or caffeine. You might feel bored. But boredom is actually the reset button your brain needs. In moments of boredom, the default mode network in your brain activates. This is where creativity and self-reflection happen. Instead of consuming, your brain starts producing. You begin to solve problems and think about the future. Another tip, turn off all non-human notifications. If it's not a real person trying to reach you, you don't need to know about it instantly. Studies show it takes an average of 23 minutes to regain deep focus after being interrupted by a single buzz. Try grayscale mode. By removing the vibrant colors, you make the apps less appealing to your dopamine system. Finally, practice mindful presence. Before you pick up your phone, ask your identifying the trigger can break the automatic habit loop before it even starts.